Hello, folks. We're here. We're back with another episode of podcast. It is once again John hosting with Maverick. We're here. Maverick, how are you doing?
All right, so I got to get something off my chest real quick because I've been seeing it a lot, and So I'm just gonna do some live edits as I go. All right.
Okay. All right.
I am doing a chaos check-in. Fine.
Yes.
Showing support for one another. Yes. I need 6 warriors of light. You don't got to reach too far for that one. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I need 6 warriors of light to post, not share this message to show you are always there to kill chaos if someone needs it. Additionally, pretty sure I know who will, and then get rid of the Let's Go Gentlemen. That right there at the end is not Dude Rock. That is not what the Brother Check-In is about. I see versions of the Brother Check-In that have the Let's Go Gentlemen, and I have no idea where they crop up. Maverick, why are you so passionate about this? Because I was a part of a group chat where the dude who found this bullshit coming around on Facebook, and we were so obsessed with it in 2020 that it sort of became our code for, hey, everything is fucked right now, but we can at least share this dumb shit with each other. And we can be okay. And that is now developed into a group chat that is nothing but posting awful dog shit Facebook posts and tweets, which in itself is amazing because you find out about stuff like Indian restaurants using Family Guy to promote their butter curry. But anyway, the Brother Check-In is very important to me, and when I see half-assed stuff like this, brother, I'll fucking check you in. Nah, I'll check you out.
Wow.
Because you can leave this conversation.
Wow.
I'll call people in, but then I'll check people out. Call me Mr. Hotel.
Hotel Maverick.
Hotel Maverick. Featuring Adam Sandler.
Who's Adam Sandler playing in Hotel Maverick? Is he playing you, or is he someone else?
Oh God, that would be... He'll be like the hotel concierge, but it'll be different. It'll be different.
Okay. You know, it's still in the writing phase. We're still figuring this out. I understand.
We're getting a lot of ideas in the tank. It's going to be a very finicky process.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So Maverick, we're starting off talking about Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, one of the most impactful, most sensational video games of 2022. Would you like to run us through what's going on with that game? You played the demo. What's going on? There was a new demo. There was a state of play which we will go over later. But in that state of play, they announced, hey, we got one last demo for Strangers of Paradise. It's coming out soon. How are you feeling about it?
So let me make sure that I am setting this well, because there is a lot that could be unpacked when it comes to Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. And then there is my take on it, which is much less passionate on the series itself and more interested with what this game has to say, and ultimately, you know, how it becomes an extension of some other stuff. But to set the background, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, if you're not aware of, is the next Final Fantasy centric game that's coming out, which is an alternate universe retelling the original Final Fantasy 1 from the NES. And this is following a set of characters brought into a world to face the malevolent chaos, from what sources are saying. The gameplay itself, and from what people are getting from the demo, it feels very touch and go in terms of its narrative. Within 1 hour before even getting to major gameplay, there is a sequence of who is something who is undeniably Garland, just killing an entire set of guards. Very, like, bloodily, and just, like, it is, like, end of Rogue One. Darth Vader has come here to fuck shit up, and it is, like, down horrendous for the Resistance. Levels of just, like, blood splatter and violence on display. And takes the princess of the area. And hard cut to future tech sky base where our three protagonists, Jack, Jed, and Ash, are facing off against Tiamat. Just full-on Tiamat. And that is your first inkling of gameplay. You're just picking up, like, okay, here's how I do basic attacks and stuff. Sort of just getting a budding vibe for what's going on. Beat Tiamat. Hard cut to fields of wheat, just golden fields. The scene from the demo that got everyone going, like, oh shit, I gotta play this, where it's just Jack on his cell phone while My Way by Frank Sinatra plays, cuts out before the actual line, I did it my way, to Jack, or you then have a tutorial of just, like, getting some more basic mechanics in, getting a more of a feel for how to actually play the game. You touch a portal, hard cut to Jack, the second scene that has people just, well, let me say it this way, that has non-dudes, the non-fellas, blowing their minds over this setup, and I look at it and I'm like, yeah, that's how it is. Of Jack showing up to the main castle of the location. If you haven't noticed, I really don't care about Final Fantasy 1. So I'm kind of just blasting through that stuff. But Corneria, I think the place is called, the Castle of Corneria, but anyway.
Like the planet from Star Fox.
Yeah, exactly. So they meet Star Fox. He's the fourth warrior light. No,
Oh, sick.
Jack shows up to the castle. He's got a crystal. He's got like a little egg, and it's glowing. Two other guys come up that are also. Keep in mind, Jack is like dressed in black t-shirt, some joggers. Looks very much like a dude from the fucking like a dude that just shows up at a Uniqlo.
Yeah,
because he needs to get ready for his CrossFit training later. Ash and Jed show up, and they're like, oh, you got a crystal too? Yeah, I'm here to kill chaos. Huh, me too. So that's our mission. Huh. Yeah. Next scene.
And they're friends forever now. They are... That's it.
That is male interaction. I'm sorry, everybody else in the world, but you just don't get what it's like to be a fella.
There was that tweet that perfectly encapsulated it that was, this is how you made friends in the playground in elementary school.
Yeah. No,
it's 100% that. It's just, oh, you have a cool rock too? Alright. And then you're just friends with them until you're in like middle school, you know? It's just, that's it. It's
and then
great.
you just play pretend in the playground where you're fighting with an Naruto and you have a Koopa Troopa OC.
Yeah.
Mine was Red Shell, and he had the power of the Dark Star.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, it's a shame I never got into drawing him, but oh well.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I have this very specific memory of getting in trouble because I don't remember why, but they told us we had to be quiet during recess, like we couldn't yell or anything. Just this one specific recess, and we were playing pretend, and some of us were Pokemon trainers and some of us were Pokemon, and I was Charmander, and they told me to use flamethrower, and I hollered at the top of my fucking lungs, and the teacher told me, "You're in trouble, mister. We told you not to yell." And I was like, "Well, Charmander's not going to listen to that. I have to yell when I'm Charmander."
Dude, oh god, one time in 5th grade, like during art class, my art teacher, we were doing still life drawings and stuff. And I was trying to get like a sketch on like a tape dispenser or whatever. And like I was just having a hard time actually trying to like visualize, because keep in mind, I am like 11. I am fuck all when it comes to actual artistic, like physical drawing and sketching. Just never got into the habit of it. So to actually try and do a still life, it was like, I kind of have it. I don't know. I try and just like take it and I start tracing the bottom of it just to get an idea of like, well, how do I like start this up? And was going to put it back. And then this teacher's like, Maverick, you have detention. And keep in mind, I'm like ready to start bawling because this is the first time I have ever gotten any sort of detention. And he starts talking about like, you know, we have some people that we could call wise Alex, some smart Alex. There's another word that I would use, but I don't want to bring that up here. And it's like, dog, dog, you're trying to call me a smartass? Like, homie, I'm bad at this. I just needed an idea of how to do this. It was a trip. But anyway, if you're realizing, hey, Maverick, aren't you talking more about Stranger Paradise? Dude, it's like, I don't know. It's dumb in like a good way. I know that people might get mad about it because it is heavily doing the thing that Tetsuya Nomura is known for, but, you know, he is only a producer for this. He's not the immediate director. So I'm not entirely sure how much his vision is in display here. You know, definitely he has a part in the artwork and stuff, but he's not the writer. He's not the director. But with anything that's sort of like Nomura influenced, specifically in regard to taking prior media or prior series and retooling it in a way, I can see people very, I would say the word is miffed at the way that a lot of this story is being taken, because it is just quickly going through, like, the 3 hours that I've played so far. I still have the tail end of a mission to get through. That might be the end of the demo. I don't know yet. But it's like, beat for beat, I do not kid when I say that we just went through each of those parts. There is a scrolling text dialogue that tells you, and by the way, these 3 guys went ahead and did the main quest so that they could get the chance to go to the chaos. Like, they just put that in a text mention. Like, the idea that there is more video game to come after this, I don't know from a storytelling perspective what to expect out of Final Fantasy Origin. No idea.
I did see people thinking that maybe it was just them like skipping over a bunch of stuff to get to where they wanted to go to in the demo, but if they do just skip over a bunch of stuff of being like, oh, by the way, the guys went off and had an adventure, you don't get to see it, though. That would be very funny.
That's my thought as well, but then I do hear the fact, like, this is another case where anything that you get from the demo is going to carry over. And, I mean, if that means just, oh yeah, all of the armor that you collected and stuff, you'll just have access to that in-game, but now we're going to get you through everything proper, I could see that.
Yeah.
But I also understand the worry if it's like, oh no, this is now just the next section. All that beginning stuff, don't worry. Like,
goodbye.
No, we don't got to worry about that. And the gameplay itself, so this is developed by Team Ninja, and it definitely takes it takes a lot from the pages of Neo. It is an action role-playing game where you are able to, as Jack, go through multiple classes. So you start off with your greatsword because you're a warrior, but then as you pick up a new weapon type, that unlocks a new job. So you can be a mage, you can be... And this also takes a bit of a turn from like Final Fantasy 14, taking from 14's book, and this is kind of already there, baked in originally in Final Fantasy 1. I feel like, myself included, people forget that second half where they like get a time skip and they look buff as fuck. And that also like changes the fucking like class that they are. But no, you have base classes or base jobs, and then these develop into more established classes as you level them up. So just recently, like, I had the chance to... you start out with, like, Pugilist, Duelist, Lancer, Mage. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing. Swordsman. And as you level those up, you have a skill tree system that you can access through... You can access through the hub-focused save point, more or less. Think your bonfire. Think your lantern. In this game, it's just called the cubes. You touch the cubes. They literally are just like, oh, we gotta touch these cubes. And that's how you get to everything. But from there, you can just start to level up and develop each of these jobs as you can gain, and you can get affinity. That affinity just lends itself to more things that you can do as that job. But eventually, you'll be able to get to a portion where you leveled this job enough that using the points allocated for that skill tree, you can now unlock a new class. That class is tied to one or a few other classes as well. So just leveling up the requirements to get that new job. Like, yesterday I leveled up Pugilist enough that I could unlock Monk. But then I also needed to get a few levels in for Lancer to also fully unlock that class and then just go into that. This was before, starting a new mission where, oh, hey, by the way, here's a samurai sword. You can now be a Ronin. And I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, guess I gotta play my Ronin now. And at any given point, you can switch between two classes, and then that'll also be two equipment sets. Your equipment is, literally just think your Neo, your equipment system, like action system. If you've played Neo, if you played Dark Souls, it's that. Just saving you the trouble of trying to like figure it out, because you can look at all these numbers, you can look at all these things, but the important thing is, okay, what level is this? Is it a higher level, or does it give me more affinity? Cool, put it on, it's there. You can always default to the button that's like, hey, what do you want to optimize the most out of? And do it that way too. R1 is your attack strings, and it's more focused of a combo mechanic. So you can link special moves to the R2 button press. R1 is your basic attack, and then R2 acts as more of a special move. And depending on the combo strings, you can just do 1, 2 special, basic, 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 special. There's a attack when you flick the stick down with your basic attack, or flick the stick forward with your basic attack. Enough customization there to, want to experiment and figure out what feels good. X is to evade. Circle is this move that's called a soul steal, I believe. Proper nouns, folks. We love to talk about proper nouns for video games. But basically, this is a catch-all for if there's a enemy that does a purple attack. Like, you see over the enemies, you can actually see them like when they call out their moves. And some moves are labeled in purple or have a purple hue to them. When you press circle at the right time, you can actually absorb that move and do it back to them using square. This can also just work as a quick moment, as like a quick time block. If you just need to get something in there real quick, alongside your standard block button of L1, and if you time it correctly, you have a parry, and the circle button is also what you can use once you break their break gauge, because every enemy, and yourself included, has HP, but then there is also the break gauge. Think stamina, think posture from Sekiro, or also the break gauge in Neo. You can break that break gauge, and when you press circle, you just fuck them up. Circle becomes the fuck them up button. Jack just like goes hog wild, snaps a neck, fills them with crystals, and then they die, and you get more MP. It is a lot at once, but then as you get through it, it's... I found myself having some difficulty with just some of the maneuverability. Jack can be a quick character, but he's just slow enough that it's like, I need to get to this enemy sooner. You can mash out these combo strings, but then sometimes a ending attack just doesn't proc. Or some classes say like, oh, by the way, if you hold R1 at the end of the string, that'll be your finisher for that combo, and then you can go to the next step. And it's like, okay. Magic works in a very fickle way where you have access to magic, but it feels like a liability at times. It's there for puzzle solving, but to actually try and use the mage class to be offensive, that's neither here nor there. It just feels very cumbersome to do so. When I had to, when I went into Chaos's dungeon, again, literally like the first mission of this game, and then had to kill the avatar of Chaos because, quick spoilers for a demo. Oh, that's not Chaos. It's another Warrior of Light that got Isekai tier like 10 years ago. And turns out, so far, the legend of Chaos is something that people tell themselves to try and instill hope so that we can actually get to the point of getting these crystals with light. If I had to call a Hail Mary of a guess, I'm going to assume that Jack, who does it, like literally listens to Limp Bizkit when he gets pissed off, Garland, is going to be like, I need to be Chaos so that you can kill Chaos. And that's going to be dumb, but
also very funny.
It's going to be funny, and I assume that that's the reason why it's a 3-person RPG structure, because eventually you're just going to lose Jack, and then that'll be the final boss that you won't be able to beat. Or you do beat, and then there's time shenanigans stuff, and then, oh, lo and behold, there's the new Warriors of Light, or whatever the fuck, and then you knock Garland down, and I don't know, it's weird. Like, I feel like I don't like Final Fantasy. Is my main takeaway.
I mean, I'm not going to talk shit. I've never really gotten into Final Fantasy. It's like probably one of the largest game holes in my life. Like I like the 7 remake. I like what I played of 6, but
yeah,
I feel like a lot of it is just, it's not really my bag, and I get it. I get why people like it, but not everything's going to be for you. And so, it's fine. Like, again, this is going to be a game that I'm just going to, like, watch from afar. I'm going to watch someone play it. Maybe if it goes on super sale near the end of the year, I'll pick it up and, like, blow through it with a friend. But, yeah, I get you. I get not wanting to hop onto this. Like, my main hang up is that it's a Neo like, because I don't like Souls or Neo gameplay.
Yeah, I get that as well, but even like the little that I played of Neo, I definitely got into the groove of it eventually. Mm-hmm. With Stranger of Paradise, there's still like resistance in a way. to wanting to like fully adapt to that play style. And I cannot, it's hard to really pin down what that resistance is. Like there's just enough pause with some attacks, or there's not an like there's it really like hones in on like, oh yeah, you can attack, cancel, you can find these ways to like quickly go through some maneuverability with your combos or make sure that you don't get hung up in a combo string, but then there's still other parts that just get in the way of that, or that make it still difficult to fully feel that maneuverability in a way. And so I definitely feel like I might just watch somebody else play it as well. I think that regardless, I'll have fun with it. And I'm not going to say I'm going to like laugh at people that are like, my beloved Final Fantasy 1, how could you do this? Like, if you feel such an attachment to that original game, to the whole series, I'm not going to sit here and belittle you. I get like how much of my life has been dedicated to seeing little guys run around, and I'm just like, that's a fucking dude right there. I would kill for you. Like, that's the ebb and flow of fandom. But all that said, I don't know, it just felt like there's an excitement there originally for Stranger Paradise. It's still a curiosity, but I don't know exactly where it's going to be. Like, I'm gonna seek out other people playing it just to get the idea of how that's gonna all turn out.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an odd release. It's a very, very odd game to exist, but I'm in a weird way, even though I'm not gonna like play it, I'm just kind of happy it's there. Because it's stupid, and we need more really stupid video games.
Yeah?
That's all I'm gonna say.
No, that's the thing. Like, I'm not here saying, like, oh, they should have never made this. No, by all means, like, make it. I guess my main thought is it plays just wonky enough that I don't think... the bit that I'm playing of the demo is probably the most that I would want to experience it for now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it comes on sale, I'll probably pick it up.
It's always gonna be there. Like, you know, we're talking about if people are really attached to Final Fantasy 1, that's always gonna be there. This is just an alternate take. This is just a different crazy thing. Who cares? You could ignore it.
You can, but also, you know, I am doing a chaos check-in, showing support for one another. I need 6 Warriors of Light to post, not share this message to show you are always there to kill chaos if someone needs it. Pretty sure I know who will.
I know who will. Everyone listening to this podcast right now is a Warrior of Light that will check in for chaos killing. That's what I believe. We are all Warriors of Light now. We will all kill chaos together.
The soundtrack isn't bad either. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's definitely like, I'm curious if there are going to be like moments in the soundtrack. Because, like I said before, there's literally a scene where, like, Neon is the name of the who you assumed to be Chaos. Turns out, oh no, I just took up the mantle to scare people or, you know, instill that hope, yada, yada, yada. By the way, like, I guess we got a new mission. Jack is literally like, fuck this. Reaches for his smartphone, puts on his earpods, and starts listening to Limp Bizkit. And I am curious whether or not more licensed music is going to be in this game. I'm really curious if there is going to be a final boss fight set to my way. Both the Frank Sinatra version or the Limp Bizkit version.
Or a mixture of the two, who knows?
Oh my god, that would be amazing. It's like the fucking... there's this one promo, this one WWE promo, where for like a match between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, that for whatever reason uses a cover of Running Up That Hill, and it just is like, it hits in a way that nothing else really does unless you just go in for it. I want something akin to that.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like, I don't even know what I would want. Again, I'm just gonna go ahead and see where this goes, where this comes up. I mean, the game releases March 15th. I'm sure review embargoes are going to be up before that. So there's going to be more word on what exactly this game is all about. But check it if you want. The demo's there. Chaos.
Mm-hmm. Chaos. It's good. It's good. Folks, there's a lot of news. We'll go into some news here. I mean, honestly, most of it's small. We can kind of just boom, 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 hit, cha, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, so I don't know why I did like some like sumo hand thrusts there. I'm channeling the power of E Honda.
Yo, Sumo Spring Basho's coming up soon. Apparently, it's this weekend. Let's fucking go.
All right. Yeah. Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
But anyway, the news.
The news. So two extremely different things were confirmed for next year. We got the charming and happy-go-lucky tale of Super Nintendo World United States Edition opening up in Hollywood in 2023. I don't know if they have a specific date. Let me see. No, it's just 2023. That will be the US version of what opened up in Japan last year. There was also going to be one in Orlando. I guess they were going to announce that they were going to open that one first, but it got delayed, and now the Hollywood one will be opened first. It seems that it'll be basically the same thing as what was in Japan. So we have, some rides and stores, like a Mario Kart ride, a few like little attractions, little like a Peach's Castle thing. It's just going to be like a little section. And if it's going to be like Japan, they're probably also going to make a Donkey Kong area eventually as well. Like I know that they're working on the Donkey Kong one for Japan. They haven't opened it. They haven't really said anything for here yet. But hey, we're getting that soon. There's also going to be one in Universal Studios Singapore. They don't have any announcement for that, but that is planned in the future as well. There is there are some ride through videos. Some folks recorded themselves riding through some stuff. There's like a little Yoshi ride. There's there's the Mario Motors, which is a gift shop. There's a Toad's Cafe, or you can eat. There's just little things that you get to do here and there. You get to buy some items. It's all Nintendo stuff. It's all Mario stuff right now. So that is what we will be looking forward to next year. My mom has been texting me a lot lately about this. She really wants to go. My mom was always kind of a big Disney fan when we were living in Florida. Like, she wasn't like one, it was still a drive, so it wasn't like, she didn't get like a pass and go like every week or whatever, like some people. But it was like something that she would do like 2 or 3 times a year. Just go to Disney for like a weekend. So, a new theme park experience, and something that she knows that I would be interested in because her son like the video game, and Super Mario especially. She knows I like Nintendo. So I appreciate that she's offering it. And yeah, no, I mean, I would like to go. I would as well. I'll maybe be more excited about it once they add more onto it. Like when they do the Donkey Kong stuff, I would like to see that. And I mean, I would just like to see them add like a bunch of different stuff. Like, I want to see how far they go. I want to see if they're like, okay, we've done, like, they'll probably do Zelda eventually, but I want to see them be like, all right, how are we going to like get normal people to get excited about Star Fox? Or is anyone going to care if we put like another racing thing for F-Zero? What are we going to be able to do for like Xenoblade? I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what other like Nintendo properties could be. I mean, I guess they could just like keep expanding Mario stuff, honestly, and then just have like a little bit of Zelda, and that's all they really need to do. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. And then the other thing that got announced for next year, again, on the opposite end, is Dead Space, the Dead Space remake. They're saying will come out early next year, so that's a bit more narrowed down from the Mario Universal. They're saying that they're trying their best to deliver a game that will be on the expectations of fans. Whatever that means.
Oh boy.
They did something that's a little neat that they mentioned, is that depending on how like fucked up Isaac Clarke is during different cutscenes, he will react to things differently, which I dig. You know, they're talking about that they're gonna patch up the story, add some more gameplay mechanics, but not mess with it too much. And you know, sure, I really like Dead Space. It's one of my favorite horror games, so I am interested in this remake. I'm looking at it the same way as I'm looking at the rumored Resident Evil 4 remake, in that if it's good, that's awesome. That's another way to play this classic game that I love a lot. If it's bad, I still have the original. So that is 100% how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Do you have any opinions on Dead Space, Maverick?
I never got that much into it. It was always spooky and scary to me. And but from what I hear, a lot of people love it. And so, you know, getting the chance to remake it, and especially for something that I think has been so dormant in terms of games, but then subsequent material, which I've heard more middling things about. As with any remake, I just hope it is something that the fans will enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what it'll be like. I'm not someone who's like super hung up on, oh man, the sound is off on the plasma cutter, but you know, we'll see how it goes. I want to try it. I want to see what's up. We will see. Let's see here. So this is kind of a tricky one to talk about, because this is like 3 or 4 stories kind of wrapped in one here, because I was going to say we could talk about the state of play, but I feel like it would be wrong to talk about that without talking about the Sony sexual harassment lawsuit, and also there's more Russia stuff going on, and it's a lot. So,
yeah.
Forgive me if this is a little messy here, but all right, I am going to just go ahead and talk about what's in front of me here. So, first off, I will start off with the important bit here. There has been a let me see. It's a I think it's leading up to a class action lawsuit, but there is a lawsuit filed against Sony by one of their former security analysts for gender discrimination and wrongful termination in November of last year.
Mm-hmm.
8 other former and current employees have joined in on the filings. So this, I think that is how it tips over to class action, is when there's a good amount of folks filing and also trying to, you know, just push out general improvements and compensation for a majority of people. Yeah, it says seeking class action to include other employees impacted by sexism in the company. Sony is filing to dismiss it, saying that they have to prove widespread intentional discrimination. Here is some of the complaints here. I'm reading this off of the Polygon article here, if you want to follow along at home. Marie Harrington, who was a former senior director at Sony, left in 2019 due to systemic sexism against females. They said that women were undervalued against men in calibration sessions where leadership highlighted high performers of the company. They said that out of 7 workers that were reviewed during one of these sessions, only 4 were women. And she reported a man's bullying behavior to a manager and saying, "Can we address this before PlayStation has its own national news article?" And that was ignored. Harrington also said men at Sony would rank female employees by their hotness and would pass around pornography and filthy jokes. Just that sort of thing. Here it says male engineers went to strip clubs during lunch and shared porn. Harrington had to request a private lactation room after having twins in 2005, and they just put her in a storage room with a broken lock off the entrance lobby. So, it doesn't say anything about her being like directly harassed in the room, but the fact that it could have been very easy for someone to just walk in, purposefully or not, is pretty uncaring and pretty unreasonable for, a good chunk of your employees. There's a lot more complaints here. Just overall, it seems like it is definitely a just another part of the games industry working through its sexism problems, and Sony sitting here and denying it is absolutely not what they should be doing. They should be taking a stand for their faults and working to amend them, because these are definitely things that are happening over many, many years. And, even if they are trying to improve, like you see a lot of these companies are trying to head off complaints where they're like, yeah, sure, we could always be doing better, but here's what we're doing now. You have to still acknowledge the faults of the past, and Sony is absolutely not doing that. So, yeah, the suit is now in active class action filings here, and Sony is going to have to reckon with that.
The more of these class action lawsuits and accusations, the more that I hear about the work experience of a lot of these companies, it is always so baffling just because of the way that things are just handled. I guess it's so. I just think about if I were a person who was also working in these areas, how half of these behaviors I wouldn't even think about, not even from I'm such a champion of women's rights or whatever. No, it's just from a very bare bones level of workplace comfort. And I mean, again, a lot of that does come back into the way that sexual harassment and discrimination show up in the workplace specifically. And, I also look at it from one perspective, that being someone who is already of a marginalized identity, that already, presets me to want to make sure that there is at least some level of equity in motion. At the same time, I can only imagine how far that goes before it is just, right, there are these other moments of discrimination that still pop up regardless of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's, this is definitely something that, is a process that, more and more of these things are going to come out before things truly get better. And, it's not a good thing that these things happen, but it's a good thing that now we are able to confront them in public ways and not just let them happen in not just let people suffer in silence. That's the good of this, is that more and more people are standing up and more working together to stand up to systemic and personal sexism and racism and homophobia and transphobia. Like it is good that more people are coming together.
Yeah.
So I am going to just go from that to talking about video game ads, because that is how this industry is. Oh god, I don't know. It's such a weird thing to do, but that's how it is. This is how games is. Here we go. We got a PlayStation State of Play. Here's everything that got announced at the new Sony commercial. So yeah, as we mentioned before, Stranger of Paradise had the new demo, and you can carry it over to the full game. We got Ghostwire Tokyo. That's out in like that's 2 weeks. It's less than 2 weeks from now. Jeez, that's wild. Let's see here. Let's see what else got announced here. They announced a new co-op mode for Returnal. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, like a whole new campaign. I believe it is added for free in like an update.
That is right. Yeah, 2 new modes. Yeah, there's the co-op, and then there's something called the Tower of Sisyphus, which is a it's an endless mode from what they said, basically. They had another trailer for that Forspoken game, which I still feel really bad because so much of it looks so goddamn cool, but the writing seems really bad. I don't know. We'll see. We got Exoprimal, which is a new Capcom IP, which it just seems like Dino Crisis, but not, because there's a lady with red hair who's fighting dinosaurs, but she's not Regina. It's not Dino Crisis. It's Exoprimal.
Kinodrisis.
Yeah, whatever the hell it is. It's a multiplayer co-op game where you're fighting dinosaurs in like mech suits. It's pretty cool looking, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, maybe it was supposed to be a Dino Crisis thing and they changed the name because they were like, Dino Crisis doesn't really have any cachet these days. I don't know. Very odd. I don't know why they chose to do that, but it still looks cool. If you want to have one of those, like, team up, fight the monsters type game, it seems like a good one of those. Got Gundam Evolution, PS5 and PS4 this year. Free-to-play first-person shooter where you're going around as Gundams, 6v6 combat. People seem to really like these Gundam games that have been coming out, those free-to-play Gundam games. So, another one of those, another first-person shooter you're playing as fucking Gundams. That's pretty sick,
Yeah,
why not?
I wouldn't mind another Gundam Breaker. I hear,
Sure.
I keep seeing new Gundam Breaker out, but I have heard from folks that it is a downgrade from Gundam Breaker 3, which never had a US release, but there is a not East Asia, but like still English language release, but for other countries. So
Yeah.
That's just a big import though. But yeah, no, if you have it for free, it's there, it's available.
Why the hell not? It's a game called Giga Bash, which is a kaiju fighting game. You're playing as a bunch of big ass motherfuckers fighting on a big it seems like, I don't want to say it seems like Destroy All Monsters Melee. It's just like it's more over the top, overhead, wacky, cartoony. But you're just going around destroying stuff, fighting your enemies, multiplayer mayhem, Giga Bash. Seems pretty okay. There's Trek to Yomi, which is a from Flying Wild Hog, which is a game set in Edo, Japan. It seems like another one of those Kurosawa-inspired games, except it's a side-scroller, not a 3D action game.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know about those. I don't know usually stuff like that made by uh not Japanese people makes me kind of be like, but whatever. We'll see. Um, got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. Now this is something I'm pretty hyped about. Um, it's a digital clips joint, so that means it's gonna have all the fixins that you need in one of these games. But let me see if I can find like the list of all the games, because it's a legit like powerhouse collection here. Got like 13 games. Let me see, where is the list here? Yeah, here we go. So it is TMNT Arcade, Turtles in Time Arcade, the three NES games, TMNT, TMNT2 Arcade, and TMNT3 Manhattan Project, and then the NES, Super NES, and Genesis versions of Tournament Fighters. Turtles in Time on Super NES, Hyperstone Heist on Genesis, and then the 3 Game Boy games, Fall of the Foot Clan, Back from the Sewers, and Radical Rescue. Like, I would drop $40 just to get Turtles in Time and Tournament Fighters, like one of the tournament, like they went so hard on this, like a legit really good collection. And they're coming out with that new beat 'em up Shredder's Revenge later on this year. Like that's really cool. This is coming to everything. This isn't just a Sony release. This is coming to Switch and PC and Xbox, all of that. $40. Pretty good collection, I would say. You know, like I would not expect Konami to go through the effort of like, you know, going through all the licensing and, you know, also giving it so much love. Because, yeah, like, this is the kind of collection that I really love, because it's got all the classics, it's got the games that people really, really love, but then it's got shit like the NES TMNT that nobody actually wants. But you put that in the collection, because people need to remember it. People need to have access to it. People need to be frustrated and pissed off and be like, you can walk over it? We need this in our lives. So this is a good collection, in my opinion.
It's got a lot.
Are you a TMNT fan, Maverick? Do you care about those turtles?
Not entirely. Like, if there's something cool, like, I've never been in a position where it's like, oh, I don't want to, like, I'm not a hater. I'm not a Ninja Turtles hater. What I've played of, like, TMNT games in the past has been cool. I think, as always, like, it's nice to just have these available for people to have in, at the very least, a condensed iteration, because either way, people will still find ways to, you know, have access to them. So, might
Absolutely.
as well cash in on it when you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you know, these will always be available to, you know, you could always emulate all of these games, but this is a nice way to get them all at once. Have them on your Switch, or, you know, just be able to boot them up wherever. We got the Dio Field Chronicle, which is a new strategy RPG from Square Enix. Everyone's saying, oh, this looks like a Final Fantasy Tactics, but it's not called Final Fantasy Tactics. It is not one of those like 2D 3D games. It is like a full 3D strategy game. I'm sure someone more interested in strategy RPGs has a lot more to say. I am not into these games, so I don't know. But I mean, people seem to be interested in it from what I've seen. Sure. I think it's kind of funny that like Square Enix seems to just be making a lot of these recently, though.
Yeah, I saw it, and I'm kind of just like, yeah, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I don't know. It feels, with new IPs coming out from Square, it definitely doesn't feel like it's trying to break new ground, which is kind of unfortunate. Like, for a minute, I assumed this is going to be something related to like the Bravely series.
Yeah.
Just with the way that the character art is set up, the way that just a lot of its material, promotional material, looks outright. But yeah, if someone is interested in it, then go for it.
Mm-hmm. Last two things here. Also, Square Enix announced a new Valkyrie game, like in the Valkyrie Profile series, called Valkyrie Elysium. But this one is an action RPG. Very interesting choice. I don't know. The graphics look a little weird, but I don't know. This could be all right. I'd like to see more about this. I love a good action RPG. Why the hell not? Let's see where this goes. I want to see more of it. I've never played a Valkyrie Profile or Valkyrie game before. Maybe this could be my first. We'll see how that goes. Have you played a Valkyrie Profile?
Have not played Valkyrie Profile. I'm at least, again, familiar with the, aesthetics of it. I was talking a bit to Rose about this, where it's just like, I don't want to say it's outright Square Enix wanting to cash in on Nier Automata success, but I also see it in comparison to previous Valkyrie games, and it's kind of just like, was this a move necessarily to try and grab more new people, which never a bad thing, but is it still in service of the series as a whole?
Yeah.
The best way that I could also extrapolate that is when you look at the new Sakura Wars that came out recently, in conjunction with other games in the Sakura Taisen series, where the one title you choose to be an action RPG comes out concurrently with probably the biggest boom for tactical RPGs that the genre has seen since, with Three Houses coming out and really just reminding people of what that style of game has to offer, alongside games like Into the Breach, Chroma Squad, and the like.
Mm-hmm.
My main worry is this an attempt to be modern in a way that sacrifices what a lot of people who are already fans of the series actually enjoyed from the series?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see. I mean, yeah, Babylon's Fall kind of felt like that, and that fell on its face, so I hope that this isn't the same thing. But I don't know. I still like action RPGs. I would like to see what this is. And finally, the thing that I was at work and I saw people talking about this and I had to stop myself from hooting and hollering, is something that I feel like most normal people aren't excited about, but those who are the real ones out there know. We are getting a re-release, a remaster, reinvention of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, called All-Star Battle R, which is coming out this fall. I cannot believe that they are revisiting this game. It is... I would not call it a bad game. I would not call it a good game. I would call it interesting. I would call it fun. I would call it engrossing. I would call it great. I love this game, and I am so glad that they are bringing it to current consoles. It's coming out PS4 and PS5. They are touching up the gameplay, apparently. I do want to see how that goes. If they turn All-Star Battle into, like, a legit, like, fighting game, that's gonna be pretty funny, honestly. Because All-Star Battle it's fun, but it is also very, it's a mess. It is a mess of a game if you try to take it in any way seriously. But yeah, they're saying that they're touching it up. They're adding some more modes. They haven't said anything about, like, online functionality. Everyone's hoping that R stands for rollback. That would be very funny. They have actually brought on the current voice actors for, up through part 6, which is nice. And they are saying that they are adding 10 more characters, because the original game had, I think, 41 characters, or 42, I don't remember, 41. And the image they showed had 40, but then 10 stars. So they're saying there's 50 characters, so they're adding 10 more. They did remove Bao, though, which was the character from Araki's first manga, which I'm going to be pretty upset if they just completely remove Bao. Maybe they might add him back as DLC later. But I don't know. I mean, there was that that game, Eyes of Heaven, the JoJo's Eyes of Heaven game, which I bet they might just add like characters from that weren't in All-Star Battle, like Speedwagon. I'm trying to see who else was added. Like Duel was added, Mariah and Pet Shop. Like I could see them adding some of those characters in, most likely, because there's 53 in Eyes of Heaven. I could see them maybe like cutting a few that like people don't care about, or or just like characters that are like clones, because there's like that like parallel world Diego and like just all that other shit. Like there's like another Dio or some shit. There's like Shadow World Dio Gone to Heaven. I don't know. We'll see what they do. I would like to see them like have some weird crazy characters added. And yeah, I would also love if they kept going with some DLC later on too. That would be nice. But yeah, fucking All-Star Battle remaster. I really would have never guessed. I would have never expected to see the day.
Yeah, I mean, God, just like reading some of the things that they would want to update it, and I was taking the time to just look again with the release date of another game that is recently getting some shine again in terms of like rollback accessibility and stuff. Persona 4 Arena. Arena had come out a year prior to All-Star Battle, but development cycles would definitely mean both would be somewhat concurrent. That said, I would say Arena definitely did a lot. Arena Ultimax did a lot to shape current day anime fighters, and from the sound of it, it just seems like this remaster of All-Star Battle is at least pushing more to that kind of niche. Just the way that I think a lot of fans, I wouldn't say overzealous, but there's definitely a thought of, well, JoJo is such a complex and rich tapestry of powers. How would you scale that properly and whatnot? And it's like, not you just lean into the fighting game aesthetics to make sure that things are balanced, but you can also do that in a way that doesn't have to sacrifice it being able to be viable as a competitive competitive game. So hopefully that balancing rework does just help it become the thing that people really wanted in its initial setup. And especially as more anime and anime inspired fighters come into the realm of Evo, I would hopefully see this get some play once it's out for a couple of weeks and it starts to get its own scene again.
Yeah. I definitely want to see what's going on with it. I want to see how they revamp it. I want to see how competitive it can be. Because, I will take it either way is the thing. If they had straight up just ported that game with no additions whatsoever, I would have still bought it. Because I do really love All-Star Battle. I have that original version. I have it physical. That game is worth $100 physically now because it was Amazon and Bandai store exclusive. So it never really got an actual physical release. But it's there on my shelf and I'm ready to play. And I'm going to be ready to play it online when it drops on PS4 and PS5. I'm going to pick it up again because it's hilarious that they're... It's so fucking crazy. I cannot believe they did this. If they wanted to do something that was legit, oh man, okay, here's a competitive fighting game that people really love, they would re-release Heritage to the Future again. Because that game whips ass and it deserves to come out again, and, the Capcom fighter from the 90s. But instead they're hey, let's bring back that kind of crappy 3D fighter that we put out a while ago. Let's try to make it good this time. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Fucking A. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we got some games that we've been playing again. I haven't been playing too many video games. I've been very busy at work and just in general, unfortunately. So, I will say that since I finished Xenoblade last week, I've been like, okay, I want to whittle down the games that are like on my plate, the Switch games that I really want to just be like, okay, I'm done with these. I want to move on. So I had SMT5 in one hand, I had Xenoblade Chronicles 1 in the other hand, and then I tossed them both aside, and I went with AI the Somnium Files because I remembered, oh yeah, I really really loved what I played of that, and I got like halfway through it, but I never finished it. So I am back at it with AI the Somnium Files. Excellent visual novel, detective game by Uchikoshi of 999, Virtue's Last Reward, etc., etc., etc. Just very funny. Lots of heart in it. Lots of dumb, stupid jokes. It's good. It's just fun. We talked about it a lot a while ago when it came out. I realized that I hadn't played it in 2 years, and I was like, oh. Oops. So I restarted it. And hey, it's still great. I'm still having a great time rereading stuff that I definitely have read before. Like I was like, oh, I remember this, but not fully. So here you go. Refresh. It's good. It's good. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. I'm happy to be experiencing it once again, and this time I will complete it. And I definitely want to complete it before the sequel comes out, because I want to get that special edition with the Iba statue, because Iba will be always celebrated in this house. She's great. And so that's mostly what I've been playing recently. I hop back a little bit into Legends Arceus because I still have to do the end game stuff. And honestly, something that I was thinking about was like, I asked myself, John, you always just like mainline Pokemon games. You don't let them go. Why is it that you didn't finish the endgame stuff in Legends Arceus, even though you absolutely do like this game? And I just thought about it for a bit, and my answer was just, I'm happy to have Legends Arceus be something that I can put down, walk away from, and then walk right back to, and slip right back into it like I never left. Like, it is absolutely perfect for that kind of game. Like, it is, like, you just go on little missions, you jump right back into it, and then you can put it down, come back later. It's all there again. I'm happy to just have a game like that. So, but I do want to finish at least the end game stuff soon. That is something that I want to get around to because I want to see. I want to fight Arceus. I want to catch Arceus. I want to seek out all Pokemon, as I was told. Maverick, how about you? What else have you been playing?
I'm now coming up to week 2 of Elden Ring playthrough, and yeah, God, there's a lot in this game, and on one hand, well, cool, a lot of content to get through. Glad that I can just, still pick it up, find something new to get through, and figure stuff out. At the same time, it can definitely be this weird section of like people's advice when you're stuck in a section of Elden Ring could easily be, all right, well, just go find something else and like start exploring there.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually there will be a point that you reach a threshold of, all right, well, I'm getting my ass handed to me by these bosses still. The stuff I would want to do in other locations I just can't get to yet because I might be locked up by certain bosses or certain events still need to trigger before I can do that. I also technically have a route to endgame set to me. I kind of know where the critical path wants me to go next, but I'm unsure about whether or not that just completely locks me or if it's at least, all right, now we'll go to the next series of events before you get to that point. So, still kind of just juggling everything. I'm still having a good time. I think I'm definitely hitting this point, though, where, I've had my time with it. I have now spent over like 50 hours playing it, and we'll probably still get a few more in, but I am at a point where I feel very comfortable that if I wanted to shift into something new, I at least know, like, okay, I can at least pick this up like once a week, get through what I need to, and then go back to my new things, or make this my like slow burn of a game while I work on something new entirely. So I'm at a good point with Elden Ring. I think a lot of what I said before still stands, and thankfully I've been able to get through a few more bosses where now it is kind of just like, all right, I have one part of the map that I just completely have not explored yet. I have another part of the map that I just found out existed, and and now just going, okay, I'm gonna have fun with this. And then now it's just like, where do I want to go next? I am now in one specific part of the game that I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be fun. And just finishing up a quest, because I have now met Rana the Witch, the Blue MILF.
We love her.
We love her. We love her. We love Guts, but he's a wolf man. I literally did just get the straight up Berserk greatsword, because that's just in the game, which is good. It's big as fuck, and I'm gonna see if I can wield it for a bit, but for right now I'm trying to dual wield katanas. And it's pretty good. I found the sword that literally lets you do Virgil moves. So it's a good pace. It's a good pace. The Radon boss fight, cool in concept, cool in execution. I think that there's a lot of dope shit happening. Infuriating as all hell, and definitely when it comes to a play perspective, would rather do without, or wish it was done in a way that wasn't like so abrasive. But that's my quick Elden Ring update.
Thank you for the update.
Yeah. Now it's just a matter of figuring out what's coming up.
You will find out, and you will be able to overcome it. I promise you. I promise you!
Thank you. I'll choose which. I'm doing the jump for joy emote.
There you go. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm imagining just like a happy night. It's a night being like, yeah! Woo! There you go.
That's right.
World events are once again impacting video games. And we'll just briefly mention that, there's more games and game services being shut down in Russia. The eShop doesn't work anymore. Sony, you can't buy consoles or software. Pokemon Go and Pikmin Bloom are banning Russians. We talked about it last week. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid, and it's not helping anybody. I don't know what else to say. It's stupid, like turning off a bunch of games and this is a small part of it. There's so many things where it's just like McDonald's isn't like open over there. They're shutting down a bunch of jobs for people. They're, shutting down access to food and money, and like PayPal doesn't work in Russia anymore. What is this helping? The average person who, most likely does not approve of this war and did not vote for it because nobody really voted for it. And, there's all this evidence that Putin has been putting himself into power a lot, so it's not like anyone really voted for Putin either. And it's just like, what are we doing, folks? Who are we hurting? What's going on?
God, it's again, situations like these where people are really just showing their asses when it comes to an understanding of the way not just global politics work, but the way people work.
Yeah.
And it, from multiple perspectives, like there's even an angle where it's like somehow the woke versus anti-woke narrative or agenda, or the idea that by fully supporting Ukraine, you are woke, is in its own way just very insidious and virtue signaling in a way that it is not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And especially so if you're an individual that is gung-ho about the situation in Ukraine, but then are still silent about the way the United States openly funds Israel and suppresses other nations of, darker complexions.
Mm-hmm.
It's very blatant what's there in motion. And if there's a denial of that, then hey, guess what? Like, that is still recognizing the Eurocentric viewpoint that you might carry. Because that's a lot of the world, or which can be a lot of the world. I also try and be very touch and go about this because I also don't have everything in a right state of mind. I'm not going to sit here and say that I am the definitive expert of geopolitical conflict, but at the same time, I see stuff as basic as like, dude, I can't even access I can't access Pokemon Go when I'm trying to like be chill about the dog shit state my country is in. That in itself is still harm. Like, the way that people are very eager to deny luxuries to people who are struggling
Mm-hmm.
because it is not seen as a necessity is still
It's
discriminatory.
inhumane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classist, I would say as well,
Yeah.
is the word that'll come up. But
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, sure, you don't need water. Or sorry, you don't need water. No,
No.
you need water to survive, but we're not a species that inherently, was born with phone in hand. You do not need YouTube to eat, as much as we joke about it. But at the same time, like, the ability to have recreation and the ability for play, and to whatever extent, is a part of human necessity. It is something that is ingrained in us, and
Mhm.
no access to that in whatever capacity is still as harmful. And so it is still a tactic which, again, not even from the standpoint of like the government specifically trying to hash anything out. These are companies looking again at that, as I had spoken about last week, that United States hegemony and power over just a lot of the economic and global structure, and going, oh, we gotta like make sure we're also having a hand in this, which, make sure that people have certain sales figures adjusted here, but then whole groups of people will suffer in other locations. And that just sucks.
It's a damn shame. And, it's just, I don't know. It's so frustrating, and I just hope that more people speak out against it and realize the harm that it's causing, because it's othering. Instead of wanting to just say, this war is horrible and it should end, there needs to be a good guy and a bad guy. There needs to be not just a good guy and a bad guy, but there needs to be good guys and bad guys, because we need people's minds need to feel okay with like seeing Ukrainian soldiers killing Russian soldiers, because it's like, oh, all those Russian soldiers must 100% be okay with it. Everyone in Russia must be 100% okay with it. It's all like, there's so many layers. You can't, like, all of these people are people with lives that they lived and so much experience and families and things that they love to do, and like, nobody wants to just sit down and grasp the realities of war. They just want to think number goes up. Haha, Russia doesn't have fuel. Oh no, we don't. Our gas prices are going up, but I will stand true and pay extra money to beat down Russia. And it's just like, God, just stop, everyone stop. It's horrible. This whole thing is so it's horrible. It's a horrible thing, and you need to just people just need to be able to say it's horrible without having to paint one side as better than the other. It's war. It's bad. It's wrong. It should never happen.
Well, I mean, John, it's very simple because Russia is just a group of people that are all, they wear blue. They all are coated in blue, and their leader is just a dude with a huge beard, big belly, and a big ushanka who also wears all blue. And we, here at the United States are portrayed by a homie, a dude that's like a perky dude in shorts that also has a nice little cuffed hair, who's a rising member of the army for the nation. So how's that Advance Wars remake coming out?
Well, I mean, it's not.
Oh, tell me more.
It was supposed to come out this week, or not this week, like real soon. April 8th. It was supposed to be next month. And the Nintendo Twitter account just said it is being delayed until it's just being delayed. It does not have a release date. They are just saying it is going to come out when it comes out now. Understandable. It makes sense because hey, this is a wacky war game where you're just shooting dudes with your tanks, and it's you're not supposed to take it seriously. But in any other time, it would have been seen as much more of a digestible, even though there are still wars pretty consistently going on, and especially in the United States, where our country is constantly bombarding many countries, and then they are just seen as lesser because they aren't Eurocentric and et cetera, what we talked about before. But at the very least, yes, right now the world does not see fit to see a goofy war game released right now. So Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp is not coming out next month. It'll be sometime in the future. Eventually. It is a little funny that this is the second time an Advance Wars game came out around a very bad international event, because the original Advance Wars came out in America on September 10th, 2001.
Yep.
So, good job, Advance Wars. Just, I don't know what else to say. Oh boy. And the last bit of news here is Akumi Nakamura has announced her new studio called Unseen. She is working on, making some new horror games, joining up with folks that are, wanting to have a more healthy cross-cultural staff. She quit Tango Gameworks for her own health, and now she's hoping that this studio will be a healthier place where artists can, quote, get together and have fun making games together and be creative. So that's nice.
Yeah.
She said that she wants to also work on anime, education, and apparel. So this seems like it'll be just like a big collaborative entertainment company. Just wants to make all kinds of stuff. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's at least interesting to see. I think a lot of the goodwill that Akumi Nakamura has been able to, amass over the last few years definitely helps with this kind of endeavor. Yes. As with any sort of business decision like this, I see the intent and I see the goodwill that Nakamura as an individual has. I do hope that there is more conversation specifically about, the logistics of it. What does the workspace look like? There is some talk of it in terms of a design standpoint, and I think that is like good to introduce as well. Specifically, she says, I want it to be a place where developers can come and go as they please, like nomads. It's a new style of office. I think that there is merit there, and there is definitely a vision in mind. Eventually, there is going to be talk, about what does payroll look like? What does employment look like? What does the business model of this studio look like? If the focus on IP is going to be from a multimedia perspective, is it sort of going to be, touch and go specifically, or is there going to be a development of an IP as a wave of media, if that makes sense? Like, oh, we'll have the game and then push for an OVA or another acclamative point for it. Is there going to be a thing where it's like, hey, here's this idea, how can we best express this idea, and then go from there? There's a lot, and I assume that we're not going to hear the announcement of it is created, but now it's just a matter of seeing okay, what comes next, what is sort of going to be that direction, especially for something as what feels like it wants to be very forward thinking in its procedure. So here's open she's able to really get to that joy that I wholly believe she wants to get out of it, which in an industry like this, it can be difficult.
Yeah, it is to be seen how this will shake out. The shakeout is shell, and I'm interested to see. All right, is there anything else you would like to discuss, or shall we move on to questions?
Let's go ahead and do questions.
All right. If you want to send in a question, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You'll sound like these folks right here. I'm just gonna hit one. We got one here. From Anonymous, who asks, John, you've been in Texas for a few months now. I'm recasting Elden Ring to be set in Texas. What would replace Sights of Grace in the Lone Star State? What local artifact do you touch to find peace? What is an item that That's the thing. I don't think we have one. I feel like there's things that we eat here, you can get some nice barbecue. That will help you find peace if you are someone who likes to eat meat. And if you're not someone who likes to eat meat, there's still plenty of nice veggies you can get. Hey, you can grill up some corn. There's some peace in some delicious corn. There are perhaps places you can see. You could go to the Alamo. Maybe you wouldn't find peace there, but you can find out something about history. The great history of Texas. I went to the Texas History Museum not that long ago. It's real interesting. It's real interesting to see history over time, and especially walking into one area and it mostly just being, hey, yeah, these French guys who showed up to try to colonize Texas were just bumbling idiots. And they just fucked up the whole time. And they all died. That's kind of funny. That was funny to see. They just had an old boat. It was kind of cool to see the boat. Because it was all rotten and shit. You couldn't touch it. You can't touch the boat because I'm pretty sure if you touched it, it would just poof into a bunch of dust.
Right.
I don't know. What brings me peace here in Texas is it is not a thing that you touch. It is a thing that you feel. It is a thing that you see. It is the sun setting over a hill far away. It is the sound of a rooster crowing at 5 p.m. for some reason. It is the feeling of of light confusion, but otherwise extreme pride in seeing a Chinatown center very ungracefully, but still happily very suddenly crescendo into a Mexican street, a bunch of Mexican street vendors, which again, it doesn't make sense until you realize that it's just good. It's just good that all these people are coming together to be in Texas and live their lives, and it's heartwarming to just see a community spring up and just be together. And that is something that I appreciate in Texas. Like that is something that I like. I like being able to walk down the street and get like 6 different kinds of cultures, foods and items, and just that I really, really like. So I don't touch something in Texas. Texas touches me. Texas touches my heart. Except for when the government does shitty stuff. But that is not everything here. There is a people here that inspires me.
What's the K-lid of Texas?
You're gonna have to explain that to me.
So there are multiple sections in Elden Ring of in the map. Limgrave is sort of just like the starting area where you see all these luxurious greens and stuff. Liurnia is where you get a bit more swamp. There's also the the Magic Academy there, which is full of nerds that shoot pebbles at you.
Of course.
You have the capital, which is all golden and illustrious, its own kind of deal. It's like Anno Londor 2. Right. But Caelid, to the east, is just a barren wasteland of big-ass dogs and crow. Like, it's fucked. Caelid is fucked.
Oh, so Houston. Okay. Yeah, that's Houston.
Man, I was born there.
Have you driven there?
No, because I was a child.
Well, if you visit and you drive around there, you will understand. It's not, listen, it's not a good place to be if you're just trying to survive.
Fair enough.
I have driven in Florida. People say that Florida is a bad place to drive. Like, you go to, like, I-4 and shit like that. Nah, Houston is insane. I don't know. Maybe I am just biased based on the driving scenario. But, yeah, you are constantly fighting for your life when you're in a car in Houston. And so that, I'm just imagining, riding your horse in Elden Ring and just being bombarded by a bunch of motherfuckers coming at you constantly. That is the equivalent, I feel like.
Yeah, and it happens. Holy hell does that happen. God.
Much love to the normal people out there in Houston, because again, you are fighting a fight on those roads that you cannot possibly win. But that's it. That is it for the show this week. Thank you so much. Oh, are we listening.
Sure? I'm just double checking because I believe Solon might have put in a question for us.
Let me see.
Yeah.
I think that was the Texas question. I'm not seeing another question.
Okay.
Okay, so Solon sent that in. There you go. There's our answer. It was not anonymous. It was actually from Solon. So thank you.
And if it wasn't, then who was phone?
We'll never find out. Eminem sent it.
Damn.
It was Eminem. It was him. He sent us an ask, and he wanted to know about Texas, because he's never been. Thank you so much for listening. Our website is videogamechoochoo.com. You can go there and you can click on things to read or listen to whenever you want. We have a Twitter at VGCC. Our Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. Our Facebook page, facebook.com/videogamechoochoo. youtube.com/videogamechoochoo. Twitch.tv/VGCC, where, hey, if you want to watch the WWE stuff that has been going on recently, which I suppose will not happen again, because I think Scott did in fact return that game. But there are VODs on our Twitch of that game.
Well, we did put up we had a Ride the Rails of WWE 2K22, which very much had myself, Lorelai, and Scott just fucking
losing it. as it were.
losing it at the way that this game is structured before Scott went ahead and refunded it. In terms of future endeavors, we might be looking at a good old game known as WWE 2K19. Should we ever need to go back to, we will eventually be going back to Video Game Championship Wrestling. But in terms of other VODs as well, prior to that, we did also have the final pay-per-view for WWE 2K20, which you can see featuring Scott, Solon, and a couple of surprise guests that showed up at the end, or
of course,
throughout that match.
Yes.
Throughout that pay-per-view. Kick out at 1.
Kick out at 1. If you want to support our insane content, you can go to patreon.com/VGCC. It's just $3 a month for all of our content a week early. We can guarantee 2 podcasts, and we'll do other stuff when we can. We got the Unlimited Railworks that Maverick and I do with Rose and Elvie. You can listen to that. And if you want to hang out with us, you can go to our Discord server, thegamezone.zone, type that into your web browser, and it'll bring you to this channel, where you can hang out with us over Discord. And finally, thank you to Melt Channel/Magic Circuit for a theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their old stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com. Listen to their new stuff, magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. And hey, they just put out a new album not that long ago that features a bunch of VShojo girls singing on the songs. So check that out. It's pretty good. And I'm not just saying that because they did our theme song. I'm saying it from the heart, from the soul. I mean it. Maverick, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter over at Mavsplaniamania. That's at MAVSPLANIA. Currently locked because, on the job hunt and whatnot. But always feel free to request that follow. Check out what I got. It's not much. I'm just shit posting. But, it's how it is.
Yes. And me too, actually. I'm also on the job hunt, so my Twitter is locked, but it is at JOHN_MICHONSKI, my name, which, isn't really hiding that much. I don't know. I don't know if it seems better or worse to have a locked Twitter account to people who are looking, but whatever. It's what I'm living with now. That is it. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back next week, hopefully, with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. So long!